Okay, graduates, I think we're going to love our commencement speaker. I think he will bring with you a passion for what you experienced at WGU, that you are all creators, innovators, disruptors, hackers, others like us who believe that, in fact, you can design your future, whatever you choose it to be. I'm pleased to introduce Erik Wahl, who is a graffiti artist making big waves by challenging organizations and individuals to break free from business as usual. His breakthrough thinking has earned praise from the likes of top influencers in both art and business. Erik's book, The Spark and the Grind, explores the essential components of igniting idea into disciplined action. The book launched to CEO Read's bestseller list within the first week of publication. And his #1 best-selling business book and a CEO Read of the Year, Unthink, has been hailed as the blueprint for leveraging creativity to achieve superior levels of performance. Erik consults regularly as a business strategist for the largest corporations, including Disney, Microsoft, and FedEx, as well as guest lecturing at TED and the prestigious London School of Business. At times, he's been referred to as the Warhol of Wall Street, the Renoir of ROI, the Picasso of productivity, and the Jobs of, well, jobs. His sought-after artwork has raised millions of dollars for charity and can be seen hanging prominently in executive offices all over the world. Please now help me welcome recognized artist, creativity scientist, and business strategist, Erik Wahl.
Thank you, guys. Greetings. I'm going to get to the commencement address in just a moment. I want to take a second just to acknowledge the tremendous achievement that you have accomplished here in the face of very challenging times, the exponential growth of artificial intelligence, where now we own almost all of the future of knowledge in the little remote control that depicts how we're going to take information in going forward. So I want to talk about innovation and adaptation and the activation of your online night owl education and globalization and polarization and classification and cultural diversification and communication out of pandemic isolation, the escalation of inflation, interest rate manipulation, regional bank capitulation, the obligation of our national debt situation, maybe just still some lingering frustration with supply chain constipation or kids' fascination with their TikTok application. Mind-numbing sedation for an entire generation. But it's not lost on me. I'm very well aware that the only thing standing between you and your favorite cocktail libation at your graduation celebration is me and this presentation. So congratulations, and without any further ado, let's unlock the fascination of our imagination. open with something just a little bit different, but actually it's a little more interactive type of commencement address. You're going to see I've got a few more canvases, a few more brushes. So I just wanted to see by a quick show of hands, who here can draw? All right, a couple of you. Actually, don't feel bad. I asked that question of every audience that I perform for. HR, IT, educators, graduates, and I will rarely, if you've never, get even one brave soul that's going to raise their hand and say that they can, in fact, draw. But if I were to go down to your high school, so whatever high school you graduated from, theoretically, and went there this afternoon, so and we're talking students ages 13 to 17, I were to ask them who can draw, statistically, I'm going to get between almost 10 to 12% of those students are going to say that they can, in fact, draw. But if I were to go down to your preschools, any preschool, anywhere in the entire country, and I would say, hey, kids, who here can draw? What's the response that I'm going to get? Yeah. 100% of the time, these kids, oftentimes even our own children, are practically bursting at the seams, just dying to share with me their creative energy. At what age, then, do you think that creative river that once did, flow so freely and effortlessly through each and every one of us, at what age do you think it started to kind of dry up? Yeah, early young. Pablo Picasso said, every child is an artist. The challenge is how to ultimately remain an artist once we grow up. How do we harness that beginner's mind and plug it back into your launching now in your upcoming career to be able to harness intellectual curiosity? And so, what is the connection between imagination and education? Albert Einstein said, imagination is even more important than knowledge, but maybe it begs the question, what is the connection between art and business? Maybe even further, what is the purpose of art? And not rhetorically or metaphorically, but actually, personally, what is the purpose of art? Because I would suggest that the purpose of art is actually not to produce a finished product. Rather, the purpose of art is to produce thinking, dynamic thinking, game-changing thinking, the kind of thinking that wakes up our mind, shakes up our brain cells to be able to unlock that intellectual curiosity. So at its core, art evokes thought. And as we move increasingly towards an artificially intelligent society, where anything that can be automated will become automated. And that gets to be kind of a heavy thought, almost an existential crisis. Artificial intelligence is continuing to disrupt, distort, and in some cases even permanently dehumanize our perception of reality. In certain circles, in the tech world right now, the biggest questions moving around, are we going to harness and leverage and regulate AI? Or is AI going to embrace us and obsolete us as humans? Again, kind of an existential challenge, but we can't solve problems from a place of fear. We can't solve them from a place of despair. We have to solve them from a place of hope, from a place of faith, and from a place of love. And that's why I would say the single greatest opportunity for growth going forward, maybe even the number one most important meta skill that should be taught in every single school across the entire country at every grade, in every classroom starting yesterday, is mental agility, mental flexibility, that ability to be adaptive and fluid and non-dualistic in our thinking, to be able to move into the future. Intellectual curiosity ignites that growth mindset. That growth mindset is how we overcome adversity. And we know that growth and comfort cannot coexist. So this idea of imagination as being the starting point for breakthrough success really means a lot to me, because one of my personal heroes subscribed to that theory. And although he himself in a lot of ways was labeled, almost disabled at a fairly early age, because he was told flat out by the system and the structure and the tradition and the rules and the regulation and the compliance around him, he really couldn't be successful because he didn't think like everyone else thought. He didn't act the way everyone else was really supposed to be acting. Yet he wanted to use that little bit of difference, that different way of seeing the world to create extraordinary opportunities, simply by seeing the world through different eyes. creativity and unlocking potential meant to him. He said creativity is really nothing more than seeing logically what the rest of the world around us physically sees with our eyes, but thinking what no one has ever thought before. I think that is the use of creativity going forward against an artificially intelligent marketplace, to see what those around you see, but to have the courage, like Albert Einstein did, to twist that landscape and ultimately unthink like no one has ever thought before. And that's your permission to do more, dare more, dream more, and be more. Congratulations on your graduation, guys. Have a great, great time tonight. Cheers, guys.